You're muted, Sean.
Okay, so I've just set it up so it should be redirected immediately to YouTube. Oh, we've got a countdown clock now.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I know. I think I'm going to die now.
That's just
okay, so 7 minutes counting down. So far it's just showing the thumbnail. I expect it won't actually show any video until the countdown is over.
I'm logging in as Kate McArthur to see what's up there.
So later, are we starting with everyone's faces on screen or nobody's?
Give me a second to think on that. That's a Kate question.
Okay. You have 6 minutes and 31 seconds to make a decision.
Also, can I just let...
We are on. Hi, humans. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Can we also, Eric, you need to change your name for the screen.
Yeah.
Because we
have
Eric Cohen.
He's
cool.
probably
just letting you know.
If there are humans that are watching, hello, humans. We've got
what are you seeing this on?
Except on YouTube. I went onto YouTube to confirm what was going on.
Oh.
This is really exciting, as it is our first.
Okay, well, it's good to know it's working.
Yeah, yay! This is so exciting. I think it's only me watching, so it's okay.
Okay, I keep following the link to try looking at it, and it just keeps showing me the countdown on the thumbnail.
Scrolls all the way back to the beginning when they tune in tomorrow, then we're golden.
Well, you can always edit it after the fact.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Can we record while we do this?
Pardon?
Can we record while we do this?
Well, it's getting recorded on YouTube, right? Like this will be archived on the channel.
Excellent.
We can also record it if you want to be extra double safe.
If you want to, so that there's no risk of it interfering with my tech, all you have to do is hit the record button down on the bottom bar and it will record the entire Zoom meeting.
I'm gonna go
record on this computer. Okay, it is done.
Sorry, are we staying on camera for the beginning or not?
Nope. You can
hop on. You can all hop on away.
Paying attention. And Kate, quick confirmation, since you can actually see, how many faces do you see on the YouTube page?
At this, right, it's a 20-second delay. So right now I see, people are leaving. As they're leaving, they're leaving. Now it's just the four of us.
Great, perfect. All I needed to hear. I'm happy now. I will die in peace.
I had to join it. I felt left out.
Are you watching too, Kate?
No.
Oh, you had to join in. Someone else is watching. I don't know who it is. It's so exciting.
I'm terrified now.
It might. It might be.
Not tell you any more numbers.
Professionals.
Anyone who knows me, I'm not extremely tech savvy. So this is equal parts horrifying and exciting, and I'm so glad. I do, however, need to run to the loo for the whole world to know that, because I'm a lady.
Sorry, I'm still adjusting height.
You'll be the only interface with the humans.
Break legs, everyone.
Have fun. That's the number one thing, is have fun.
Break legs.
Break legs.
Anything else? Hi, Sean.
Hey, Kate.
Thanks for not leaving me alone.
Yeah, I was just watching that and feeling like, I wonder how postmodern people were expecting this to turn out to be as a presentation. Not that there is not entertainment value in the head bob.
I almost put on music and just had a dance party till we started.
Honestly, I think that would have been a completely viable strategy. For anybody who has tuned in early. We actually are going to start on time. There will actually be a play reading, I promise.
There will. Yeah.
There will. We promise. There's just, it's not 7 o'clock yet. We start on time. Hey.
I'm feeling very embarrassed by the state of my life behind me.
No. You've got Tessa's painting.
I know. Let's all look at Tessa's painting for a minute.
It's beautiful. Commission her. She's an amazing visual artist based out of Halifax.
And it got credited to my car and drove all the way back across Canada with me because there was no possible way I was leaving it behind, and I adore it. We'll have a place of honor above the fireplace in my future home.
I'm going to I closed YouTube on my computer because I didn't want it running. Right. It was distracting me.
Yeah. Just gonna watch yourself all night that way.
Oh. Yeah, so this is a weird experience. I did one reading this week and that was absolutely wonderful, but like running and facilitating it is like a new experience.
It's a whole learning curve to just get everything ready for this. It's been wild.
Yeah, but technology is fickle. It'll do what it wants. So thank you all if you're watching for your patience and your yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, I should fix my name, I guess.
Oh.
Okay.
What is a mouth moistening spray?
Mine is sparkling water with grape juice made with grapes from my mother's greenhouse.
Your mother.
All the way over here on the edge of the world, Newfoundland, we still managed to get grapes. Goodness, friends, it's almost time.
Okay.
Oh my God, we haven't had an opening night in so long.
It feels really
terrifying.
Odd. I haven't had an opening night since like December.
December was my last opening night. We got buried in snow in January and didn't do anything. Snowmageddon. Anyways, oh my goodness, look at what time it is.
It's 7 o'clock.
It's 7 o'clock.
Ontario.
It's 8:30 here in Newfoundland.
All right.
Well, I suppose we'll start then. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the comfort of your own homes for this thrilling live stream reading of Moral Deficit by Sean O'Brien.
We are Skipping Stones Theatre, a Toronto-based independent theatre collective whose mandate is exploring theatre through the lens of mental health and neurodiversity. If you would like to learn more about our work or join our mailing list, we are on all of the social medias under @SkippingStonesTheatre, and our links are also posted below. A few weeks ago, I messaged Sean O'Brien, co-artistic leader of Skipping Stones Theatre and the playwright of Moral Deficit, and I messaged him saying, "It's looking a little moral deficit out there, eh?" And more it is. So we felt that this is a fitting time to bring the script back to life.
So this script was originally performed as a staged reading in Toronto in the spring of 2017. That summer, Kate and I had the great honor of getting to co-direct an abridged version at the Hamilton Fringe Festival. And to say we had fun is an understatement. In fact, you may notice a few artifacts from the original production that crop up in this. And if anyone saw it, then we hope you enjoy it. And for anyone who wonders where the heck it came from, if it stands out, that's definitely it. This Black and Blue comedy is the perfect vehicle for the postmodern humorist.
This is an absurd script dealing with many real and sometimes heavy issues. Sean wrote it with a truly Brechtian approach that is highly self-aware and explores the cognitive dissonance that can occur when society as we know it is crumbling around us. #relatable content.
That being said, think Monty Python meets The Simpsons or BoJack Horseman. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. To quote Christopher Durang, laughter is a tonic, so forget crying. Cry and you cry alone. Laugh and you cry alone later.
Our artists will be reading from many different locations, and we would like to acknowledge the past, present, and future caretakers of all the lands from which we are performing tonight, both recorded and unrecorded, acknowledged and unacknowledged.
I would like to respectfully acknowledge this territory as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homes of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk. I would also like to recognize the Inuit, Innu, Southern Innu, and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador.
Those of us in the Greater Toronto Area wish to acknowledge the ancestral traditional territories of the Ojibwe, the Anishinaabe, and in particular the Mississaugas of the New Credit, whose territory we are gathering on today. For those of us in the Ottawa region, we recognize that we gather on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. The territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties, many of which have yet to truly be honored. Acknowledging territory is only the beginning of cultivating strong relationships with Canada's First Peoples. We encourage all of you that are tuning in to reach out to your local Native friendship centers and, as settlers, to learn more about the true history of the lands that we call home. And now, welcome to Moral Deficit, the show where money's made up and the points don't matter.
Prologue. The $1 Trillion Hobo. A homeless woman walks out onto a blank stage. Her walk is severely hobbled and she has more than one missing tooth. She pulls a large platinum coin out of her pocket, holding it up for the world to see.
Ever wanted to see what $1 trillion looks like? Well, here you go. Doesn't look that exciting. Made of platinum though. Hard to tell from far away. Hard to tell from close up. It's just hard to tell. Just another shiny silver metal. Shiny platinum metal. Sorry, I'm supposed to give you the prologue to a play about money and a softcore apocalypse, but I don't really know anything about money. I tell people my story until they toss me a couple of coins. If somebody tossed me this one, I probably would have thought, that's a funny looking quarter. One of those silver dollar things, I guess. Can't spend that one, can I? May have frozen to death one night with $1 trillion in my pocket. Huh. It's kind of like poetry. Anyway, this play happens over 3 days, except for a bunch of little scenes in the future and a couple of scenes in the past and some that really don't happen. But it's mostly over 3 days. By the end of those 3 days, 3 characters will be dead. 2 of them are people. Ready?
The woman tosses the coin into the audience and waits for someone to catch it.
Who caught it? Okay, it actually is a quarter. But there is a story about $1 trillion coin that happens in this play, and it basically ends the world. I know it sounds depressing, but I think it's kind of funny too. You only get one death. Have you picked yours yet?
Act 1. Scene 1, 3 days' notice. Arvin is at his desk at work. He is on the phone with Mathew.
No, nothing about what you just said makes sense, and I need assurances before I can hang up this phone.
Mathew, you're being childish. I told you, I'm at work. I'm busy. I'll talk to you when I get home.
If you get home.
I will get home. Don't worry about that. If you're worried about the lease, I promise I've already got it covered.
The lease?
The checks are already postdated. You're fine.
Arvin, the lease means fuck all to me right now. You left me a suicide note, and you want me
a suicide
to
note
wait here until you finish work?
I would appreciate that. If you'd actually read the note, you'd understand that this isn't a problem.
How is it not a problem?
Because I'm not dead, and I'm not going to kill myself today. Mathew, I went to work, for God's sake. That means this temper tantrum, which I know is happening because you're worried about me, is not necessary.
I should have you detained and on suicide watch right now.
Look, I already told you that wasn't a suicide note. It was a 3 days notice. I intend to keep my word on that 3 days notice. Of the two of us, you're the one acting impulsive and irrational. I'm busy. I'm at work. I need to get back to work now. When I get home, we will discuss the specifics of my decision. Right now, our information is asymmetrical. Tonight, I'll get you on the same page. Oh, for crying out loud, I can hear you gasping to interject. What important thing do you have to say right now?
Fuck, man.
Cool. All right. Good talk. I'll see you around 6.
Scene 2. Truck and barter. The homeless woman stands in a nondescript fast food restaurant. Diana, the only cashier at the till today, is in an argument with her. A pair of lightly used shoes sits on the counter between them. Already, the line behind the homeless woman is beginning to accumulate. The people in the line do what people normally do in situations like this, which is stand awkwardly and pretend that nothing is happening.
Look, I'm sorry, but I can't accept those as payment.
I don't see why not. They're only a bit used. Worth a lot more than a chicken sandwich combo, eh?
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Okay, I could haggle down just to the sandwich.
I can't really put those in the cash register,
Oh,
can
wow.
I? Or run it through a card machine?
Yeah, well, that would be stupid.
So what am I supposed to do with them?
Can I speak to your manager?
Please, the line is getting longer.
I know.
Okay, look, maybe one of those people can buy it for you?
I'm not looking for anyone's pity.
Fine, it's on the house.
Don't want that either. I worked for these. I'm paying with them.
Can't you please just sell them to somebody?
Why should I have to?
You can't buy burgers with shoes. It doesn't make sense. If you don't know that, then you're stupid. You're stupid and I'm getting angry and I have a job to do that doesn't pay enough to deal with shit like this and I don't know how to get rid of you, so just go away. Please, just go away.
I'm sorry. I was being rude.
Yeah,
You okay?
yeah. Sorry about that. That was unprofessional.
And mean.
That too.
I literally live on the street.
Yes, I realize.
You live on the street?
No,
You ever live on the street?
no.
Want to know why I live on the street?
Sure.
So do I.
Scene 3. An important flashback. Mr. Harris's office at the hedge fund where Arvin works. The woman remains on stage, invisible to the men.
This scene happened about a month ago.
Arvin, you really fucked this one up.
I know. I'm sorry.
You fucked it all the way up. I'm almost angry. I'm so astonished. It's superseding my anger. Is my face red right now?
A little bit.
Fuck. Well, I blame you. My stroke will be on your conscience.
I'm a bit stressed myself.
Harris, without breaking eye contact or changing facial expression, smashes something expensive looking on his desk against the wall.
Okay, I'm a bit angry.
Understandable.
I wasn't quite there yet. But then you thought our feelings in this moment were comparable, which they aren't, because you don't have a good chunk of your own net worth tied up in this fund, because you don't have fund partners to answer to, because you don't have to explain to them that the guy you really trusted to have your back fucked it up.
I didn't mean to go on.
Oh, I'm going to smash more things. Amazon. We knew it was volatile. We knew it was set to drop. I can't supervise every trade made in this building, can I? That's why I told my second best guy to get the fuck over it. There's always someone better. My best guy, he was busy because he's my best guy. You seemed to be a good idea at the time.
May I?
Yes.
I thought the first drop was going to bounce back. I was going to sell when it rebounded.
Stupid plan.
It stabilized.
It stabilized for 6 minutes. 6 minutes in which you could have saved $500 million. You could take that first hit and recover. We were right there at the early distress phase. You and I both know panic always follows. Nobody ever looks at an avalanche and goes, wow, oh, that'll bounce right back, right?
But no company this big has burst its own bubble since Enron.
I'm really lost on how you think that makes you less of an idiot. I swear to fuck I will eat your soul if you start talking like a normal trader again. There's us, and then there's the rest of the dumb fucks. You had me really convinced that you weren't one of the dumb fucks. And now the whole prospectus has gone to shit because Amazon went bankrupt and took our money with it. Relentless.fucking.com. Fuck you, Jeff. And that rat bastard still got one of the high scores. So I have to start sucking off dividends before the quarterly report comes out and they justifiably demand their money back. I'll explain that we fired the asshole who lost their money. Convince them that we'll get it back, that I'm the fucking alpha here, and that we're still a momentum fund worth a damn.
You're firing me.
As if I could. You aren't one of the dumb fucks. You're just young. We need a fall guy. So I'm firing the guy who did the due diligence and the analysis.
No, wait, you can't.
No.
Computer, print me a sandwich. I love the future.
Now, 3D printing has made its way to food with the Comfuda. All recipes created by an assortment of celebrity chefs.
I used to be a chef, but now restaurants don't exist.
But our stockholders demanded innovation, and we can't seem to stop ourselves. The Comfuda. Just admit you wanted this.
My life used to have purpose.
Scene 5, the sandwich saga continues. Resuming the scene in the fast food restaurant from before. This time, the woman is sitting on the counter facing a seated gathering of customers, including Roland. Diana leans in from behind the register, engrossed.
You mean that Diana would have to fill out a form to the government so they could tax the place on the shoes?
More or less.
My next audit's gonna be a nightmare. Laugh at my joke.
Okay, look at it this way. This is a franchise establishment. Every transaction is accounted for and sent up the chain. Money lets you do that, since it's a standardized unit of account.
And easily digitized.
Yes, that too.
You ever think about how most money isn't real nowadays?
Technically, no money is real.
Stop encouraging her.
Well, it's all real because we agree it's real.
You make it sound like a religion.
I do.
Sir, the sooner we end this discussion, the sooner you get to order.
I have to be nowhere.
Most people say they have nowhere to be.
That's because they mean something different.
Everybody focus. This corporation depends on efficiency to be competitive. If we accept anything besides money for payment, then the overhead goes through the roof and the taxes get impossible to manage. Suddenly, the company's bankrupt and I don't have a job. Do you follow?
You a decent pair of shoes for a sandwich, would you take it?
I don't know. Depends on if I need shoes, I guess.
Well, from a value-based point of view, you'd be foolish not to take the trade. Even used shoes sell more than the food.
Okay, but this isn't my shop.
So you work at a franchise that does the same thing as an independent shop can do, except you can't accept a fair trade that this guy says puts you on the plus side?
Not like the profits do anything for my pay anyway.
Good point. From an efficiency standpoint, the delay's costing more money than the shoes are worth.
Exactly. Wait, are you saying I should take the shoes?
Yes, that makes just as much sense as everything else.
Why do you think franchises are winning against independent businesses? The efficiency brings down costs. Low costs means low prices for the consumer. This means you can sell those shoes and make enough money to eat at least 3 square meals here instead of trading them for 1. That efficiency requires rules. The one rule that we all agree to is that the only thing you can pay with is money. So if you've got money, I'm at your service. If not, go get some.
The manager enters.
What exactly is going on here?
We've started a fast food symposium.
Have you bought anything?
Still working on it.
Has anybody here bought anything?
The group still comprising the lineup all shake their heads, avert their gaze, shrug, etc.
I'm first in line.
She's trying to buy a chicken sandwich with shoes.
1 pair of slightly used shoes for 1 chicken sandwich combo.
Just give her the damn food and get this line moving again.
Well, that worked out well.
Too bad. I was just starting to enjoy myself.
All right, can I please help the next person in line?
1 half-pounder with bacon and cheese, large fries, and a Diet Pepsi.
The Diet Pepsi won't save you, man.
Oh, I know. I just like to taste of aspartame. Do you really think that low prices are worth you being underpaid and overworked?
$9.65.
You don't see me as a person.
It makes the job easier.
All people do is hurt each other and then pretend it was someone else's fault.
There is no such thing as fault. Responsibility requires free will.
Metaphysics? Oh, no, 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 no.
I accomplished something.
Treadmill, the clothes specifically designed for treadmills and nothing else.
Nobody needed this to exist.
Just buy it.
Scene 7, the endless symposium. We are still in a fast food restaurant. A crowd sits on chairs and on the floor, or everybody else stands. Almost everyone has their food and is eating. Some have finished and throw away their wrappers and trash. Nobody leaves. Roland has returned, still sipping from his Diet Pepsi. Mathew is here now, in the middle of a brief lecture.
The reality is that the old story we were told about how used to think is that way. The wilderness and whatever it took to survive. You need some of what one person makes. Someday they need something you make. It's that fucking simple. My neighbor comes over and says, Matthew, do you have a bit of food to spare? I don't go, get off my property unless you have some damn fine sandals for me. A few months later, my sandals wear out and I go to my neighbor and I say, remember that time I fed you? I could use a new pair of sandals. And my neighbor would say, sure, I'll make a pair today. Come get them this evening. Like magic, everyone is fed and shoed.
But can that work on a bigger level?
Like our city big?
Like the world big?
Globalization is corporate fraud.
Do not talk down to me. You've been mansplaining your counterpoint to Adam Smith here for like 20 minutes. Your self-taught sociology's fine and all. You've definitely spent time on the internet. But if we're going to spend the rest of my probably final shift talking economic theory, I'm all ears for something that sounds constructive.
You have something constructive?
I don't have a problem with globalization, or even really capitalism.
There's a collective gasp.
Oh, shut up and eat that $9 bag of your entire daily caloric requirements.
This food's like really bad for me and you don't get paid enough to serve it.
I wasn't saying there isn't room for improvement. It's this blow it all up attitude I have a problem with.
The homeless woman pokes her head in.
You're all still here?
You've started a trend.
Neat. What'd I miss?
Diana's defending the merits of the current global economic system, while this guy, Mathew, is talking about socialism.
No, it's called the gift economy.
So we have our debate leaders. Diana, why is globalization a good thing?
I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's not an either or thing. Globalization is just the next step in history. It just sort of happens. One thing I don't mind is the fact that we haven't had a world war in a while.
Oh, instead, big countries like ours can oppress small ones with incomprehensible debts while our own citizens go jobless because foreign workers are willing to work for less.
Thus, improving the standard of living for those foreign workers while also making goods cheaper for people here with low incomes. Besides, we also have incomprehensible debts to a bunch of other countries.
Everybody owes everybody everything. Isn't that kind of like your 50 people in the woods theory?
50 countries in the woods.
Why'd you come back?
My life is in shambles and I'm in no hurry to return to it.
Do you want to talk about it?
I'd rather not. Keep talking about globalization.
I don't want to. This debate sucks. I like the internet. I like cities. I like that a student with a cliche minimum wage job still gets a computerized telephone with GPS in my pocket. Your proto-socialist tribal utopia leaves out the fact that 1/3 of prehistoric adults died violently, usually from other people looking for a couple extra pairs of sandals or bushels of wheat. Does anybody here besides me have a job to get back to?
There's a collective shrug.
No, I'm going to take a shit.
I think food should just be free.
You plan on growing it for free?
I shouldn't have butted in on an empty stomach.
No.
It's not a trade, it's a gift.
For me or for the company?
I'm not sure. How does this work again?
You discover that a neighboring tribe has a particularly appealing source of copper that you'd love to make tools from, so you trade them your daughter in a complex drug-fueled ceremony.
She's not wrong.
I thought you two were on different sides.
Your manager let you do it for me, so you know it's fine.
If you want to give me a taco salad at some point, that would just make my day.
There's a drawn-out pause. Diana enters the order and puts the shoes under the counter. The second customer sits down.
Sorry.
For what?
I should listen more and talk less sometimes.
We all could, I guess.
That said, it doesn't just sort of happen.
What?
History doesn't just happen. It's what we do. Movements start in rooms like these.
Movements to do what?
Anyone want to buy me dinner?
I thought you weren't accepting charity.
Change my mind. I'm hungry and have nothing to trade this time. Anybody got something for one of God's abandoned children?
Why don't you get a job?
Why don't you make people want to hire a homeless addict?
Everything's got to be my fault. God exits. Somehow we can just tell.
So, dinner anybody? No? Was I talking to myself or did you hear a booming voice at the same time I did? You ever watch Joan of Arcadia? Well, fuck you too, you cheap assholes.
The woman storms out. The extended pause doesn't end, but becomes increasingly uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be the first to address what just happened. Roland re-enters.
Guys, I think I just had an epiphany.
I'm leaving.
My shift just ended.
Where are you headed?
I think I'm gonna get drunk.
Want to go together?
Sure.
Cool.
I'll just go get changed.
I'll meet you out front.
Sure.
Cool.
I'm Roland, by the way, in case anyone here wants to make friends with or influence me.
Anybody catch her name?
Diana. Didn't you see her name tag?
It was too close to her boobs.
Any thoughts on how we can return to the gift economy?
Not really. At least not in a post-farming society. In smaller social structures, everybody in your tribe is friends and family. Everyone gives to their friends and family.
So if we treated everybody like our friends and family...
Never gonna happen. Everyone's a stranger now. Everything we've tried to come up with since falls under the banner of collectivism and individualism, and neither works.
So what do we do?
Live, die eventually.
Scene 8, bar date. Mathew and Diana sit at a bar. Mathew is in the same clothes while Diana is dressed in her casual attire.
So you're saying, if you feel this strongly, why aren't you out there changing the world?
Well, I'm trying, but there aren't enough of us yet. I fucking hate all these people acting like everything's destined to work out for the best.
Hate's kind of a strong word.
Yeah, so is power. That's why I use it thrice a day. Power! Power!
Oh, look at you go! What happens if you use it a fourth time?
Don't know. Fabric of reality itself might unravel.
So that just happened, right?
I know. Apparently God exists. Go figure.
Were you not religious before?
Well, I figured if there was a God, we were more powerful than him.
Oh, really? Isn't that just a tiny bit arrogant?
Into
Mathew? Something about your appendix? Yum.
Well, God wanted me dead, and a trained physician was able to circumvent his will. And here I am, flipping God the bird.
All right, maybe not a good time to go overboard showing me how big your balls are. Great big man balls. Biggest balls of them all.
Okay. This is getting immature.
Bow down before the balls of Mathew. He's gonna take on God in a fist fight in hell. Hold him down, Nietzsche. I'm gonna crush his skull with my giant balls.
You're drunk.
You're ugly. I thought drinking would make you prettier, but at this point, I have to go for blurred vision.
You know, if a man talked to a woman like this at a bar, he'd have a drink thrown in his face.
Oh, and yet you're still here. That means you either really want to get laid tonight or you really don't want to go home.
So were you religious before today?
Yes. But the point of faith is that you're not supposed to be proven right. Suddenly, believing's too easy. It's not faith anymore. It's just facts.
Facts.
Yeah, I like facts too, but you can't do everything with them. Besides, we heard a God, but which God? Is it my God? Someone else's God? Do I need to fix how I pray now?
Let's ask. Hey, God, which religion is the right one? I want to make up for lost time.
Cute.
Does being religious make you less scared of death?
That's a big one to drop on your first date.
Oh, I lost you ages ago. Now we're just talking like people without an agenda.
Oh, so what's that like?
Does it help?
No. Well, maybe some people, but I have to be honest right now. I'm terrified. I don't know what to do with this. What even was that? No burning bush, no new commandments. It's like whatever that was just accidentally left the call on speakerphone. all that mystery, and it turns out he's
An asshole.
indifferent.
The old conundrum of an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving deity. Can't be all three.
If anything, it answers a lot. Doesn't score points for a heavenly hereafter,
Doesn't rule it out either.
I guess, but I wasn't counting on it anyway. I was kind of looking forward to being in the first immortal generation. Fake organs, stem cells, gene therapy, computerizing your mind, whatever works. We'd have to stop having kids, but that's fine.
You need money for those things. You planning on getting 1% rich in the near future? More likely we're all gonna die from climate change or World War III or whatever other way we can think of engineering our own existence. When it grew up, economists had been predicting that big internet firms would be the first to go. But I'll get through that. Whatever happens to the rest of the species.
Wait, are you one of those survivalists?
It never hurts to have a plan.
What's your plan?
Get away from the city as far as you can and get out early. I'm going north where the human population is thinner.
They're thinner because there's no food. Isn't that a long trip?
Time to gather a tribe.
Most people call those friends.
I don't really have those.
I'd act surprised, but...
I actually have to go.
Quitter?
Can I call you?
Facebook. Now, help me get a cab because I'm plastered.
Diana exits with Mathew in tow. Scene 9, roommates collide. Arvin sits on a sofa in his apartment watching TV. Mathew, slightly intoxicated, unlocks the door and enters. While Arvin talks, Mathew seems to be in some distress. He has nausea and blue balls, but doesn't know which to deal with first.
I've been back from work since 6:14. I assumed you'd be waiting here to start talking me down. I left you a 3 days notice this morning and you called me freaking out, even though I said explicitly in the note it was a 3 days notice and not a suicide note. So I've just been waiting here. Cooked a reasonable meal. After all, you want to clear out the fridge a bit. Kind of like going on a vacation in a way. Didn't really have anything planned, so I ended up making breakfast. Eggs, frozen waffles, a bit of yogurt and fruit. There's no logical reason that it should be considered breakfast anyway. It tastes as good in the morning as it does in the evening.
Mathew runs into the bathroom and pukes his heart out.
Oh, so at the bar, huh? Drinking away the shock of my loss just a few days early? Look, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a lot of things bottled up inside that I've been meaning to get out at some point. I'm not saying the note was a cry for help. I'm pretty much done with all that shit, if I'm being honest. But I have wanted to talk a bit with my best friend before going and... Oh, what the fuck are you doing in there? Are you jerking off right now? The thought of me dying turns you on. Oh, you were out with a girl. Cool. You have some serious issues on that front? I mean, usually when I get blue balls, it's at least because I'm in the middle of something. How do you even cope with a libido like that? Oh, sorry. Am I distracting you? Oh, you're crying now. Okay. That's fair. It's a lot of emotions going on, and I'm not really being fair by insulting your masculinity while you try to relieve your stomach and your balls at the same time. You know what? I have some eggs and waffles left. You want some eggs and waffles? I mean, you have some room now. Did you really get drunk enough to puke? Or was it just seeing me that upset your tummy? Mathew?
Mathew slowly makes his way out of the bathroom. A little puke is on his shirt.
I'm in a self-indulgent mood. I've been stewing in my own suicidal juices for about 3 hours. I'm nervous too, you know.
I heard God's voice at a fast food symposium on the monetary system.
All right, fair enough.
I'm sorry, man.
Are you hungry? All right. You want to talk now or do you want to wait? Are you sure? I promise I'll still be here tomorrow.
Let's just talk now, okay? It's good.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, sit down then. Do you want to start or shall I?
Arvin, I'm on the brink of losing my shit right now.
Oh, okay. Do you want to start or shall I?
Sorry, we're just gonna back up a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I heard God's voice at a fast food symposium on the monetary system.
All right, fair enough.
I'm sorry, man.
Are you hungry?
Not really.
All right. You want to talk now or do you want to wait?
Let's talk now. It's good.
Are you sure? I promise I'll still be here tomorrow.
Arvin, I'm on the brink of losing my shit here.
Fuck. All right, sit down then. Do you want to start or
Just give me a second.
Okay, fine. You're nervous.
I'm trying to talk down a suicidal friend. It's kind of a new experience for me.
You want some pointers?
No, I do not want some fucking pointers.
Relax. You're going through a rough moment. It'll pass.
Don't be ironic with me.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't help it.
Fuck.
Do you want to watch Netflix?
Arvin!
Okay, I'm bored.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Don't kill yourself.
That's your starting point.
Sort of.
Well, that's kind of weak.
No, shut up. No, that is an excellent starting point. That's my thesis. Don't kill yourself. It makes perfect sense as a starting point. What would be a better starting point for me trying to convince you not to kill yourself than telling you not to kill yourself?
Well, something I hadn't have thought of would have been nice.
I love you and I don't want you to die, so don't be a prick about it.
Okay, I won't.
This is kind of coming out of nowhere.
Only because I don't spend most of our time together explaining my suicidal impulses in detail.
Okay, so you've been thinking about this for a while.
I gave a 3 days notice in advance of my planned suicide. Days almost out, and I've not changed my mind in the slightest. This isn't some bullshit cry for help. I'm calm. I'm rational.
Suicide isn't rational.
Why not?
What?
Why isn't it rational? Actually prove that. Explain why it isn't rational.
It is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
There is no such thing as a permanent problem. Life ends, civilization ends, the universe ends. I mean, I can't look up at the stars at night anymore without feeling dread about how insignificant and random I am. It's not even really dread, it's more like doom. When's the last time you felt doomed? Because you are doomed. Don't kid yourself. If that doesn't bother you, fine, good. Go live your life. Leave me to end mine as I see fit.
So you're depressed?
Yeah.
Why are you depressed?
A lot of reasons, really. Some things that happened recently, other things that I've noticed over time. I covered some of this in the note.
Yeah, but not enough.
Well, I have a relationship with life itself that's never really been great. I don't care about anything. I'm numb to most experiences. I've seen where my career is heading, and it's soulless garbage. I have no interest in starting a family and no interest in the family I already have. I can't bear the thought of being stuck here for another 50 or 60 years. You talk all the time about surviving all the shitty things you think are going to happen to the world. Why?
Living is better than being dead.
No, it isn't. It's just the difference between existing and not existing.
The idea of not existing doesn't terrify you?
It does, but it's going to happen anyway, and I'll never get it off my mind, so I may as well take matters into my own hands. I could fight through life to achieve the things I want, but in the end, I'd still be dead. Maybe there's an afterlife, in which case there's no sense in putting it off. If there is no afterlife, there's no reason to live in the first place. I've hurt people, you know?
Everyone hurts people.
And that makes it all right? I'll do a bunch of shitty things to people to keep my own position, all the while knowing how fucked I am in the long run. Even if I find something resembling happiness for a short time, it will end, and I'll be left off worse for the loss.
Just do what everyone else does. Deal with it. You seem convinced that because you feel like shit now, you're obviously going to feel like shit forever.
Forever's a tricky idea.
You know what? Let's talk about forever. I'm about 90% sure there's a God now, so maybe forever's on the table.
After dying.
Fuck you, I have a point to make. I've just been thinking, what if we're part of the first immortal generation? Like, you know how when elves die in Lord of the Rings, it's really upsetting because they only die when they're killed? What if death isn't inevitable for us? If living forever was an option, would that change your mind?
As an alternative to suicide, you're proposing that I be trapped in a body doing pointless stuff forever, just perpetuating my own existence and the never-ending desire to reproduce, disguised as love and affection. No, that does not change my mind. I'm done.
Okay, fine. I'm calling a doctor for you tomorrow.
Go nuts.
Not funny.
I'm sorry.
Mathew visibly slumps into his seat, exhausted. After a moment, Arvin turns the TV back on. The news is playing.
Protesters have been steadily increasing in number for the past 4 hours. Their insistence on the shoe as legal tender continues.
Wait, what?
Act 2, Scene 1. Deflation. Harris storms onto the trading floor, cup of coffee held aloft. A crowd of people starting to work now stop and watch, including Arvin.
I can't be bothered to brew my own coffee nor make my own breakfast in the morning. It's a character flaw, I know. I'm rich. I can do what I want. Prices on everything have dropped overnight. Bunch of lunatics want to start buying things with shoes. Now this cup of coffee cost me 50 cents. I haven't been this overjoyed at collective human stupidity since Occupy Wall Street. Know what this means? It's time to buy everything. If there are any shorts left that you haven't covered, now's the time. When the market rebounds, I want this fund to be completely flat. We're going to own every asset, every stock, option, future contract, and mortgage-backed security that you can find. Dipping into commodities, buy as much oil as you can. Do you have any cryptocurrencies? Get me like 1, 2. Let's not go crazy, okay? You know what? Let's try viaticals. I want to own people's life insurance policies. If a bank goes bankrupt, I want it. If Canada's going at a decent price, I want it in my portfolio by the end of the day.
We're already flat, sir. Even covering our shorts doesn't give us enough capital to buy those assets no matter what the market value.
That's why this morning I shifted all my own cash into the fund. We have lots of cash now.
The Dow is crashing. If this is more than a fat finger, we stand to lose everything.
We will not be the dumb fucks. We will gore this bear market on our horns. Anybody who's afraid is free to depart with their honor. We're not here. We're here. Look, we are not going to bleed out like everyone else. And if we are going down, we're going in a blaze of financial glory. Now, who's with me? Oh, fuck you. Do it anyway, because I'm your boss.
Everyone gets hastily to work. The room is absorbed in a din of rapid trading, mostly buying. Scene 2, Penny for your thoughts. The homeless woman has wandered into an alley. The sound of incredibly loud protests can be heard all around. She starts to dig into a breakfast wrap, occasionally spitting out chunks that get stuck in the gaps of her teeth. Eventually, Diana finds her and sits with her.
You can sit with me for $1.
Penny for your thoughts?
Fuck pennies. Nobody likes pennies. $1.
Diana fishes out a $20 bill and tosses it in front of the woman.
So what can I do for you?
What do you know about the meaning of life?
Meaning requires something to exist outside of life. Since nothing does, there is no meaning. Go forth and be free.
Having spoken to God, can you really say that?
Always sort of assumed those were hallucinations.
I think you might be an oracle.
Go figure.
What else does God tell you?
Mostly tells me to go warn people about the approaching end times.
Doesn't that seem important?
Sure, but another crazy homeless person preaching the end of the world. Pardon me for assuming that'll be overlooked.
Fair point.
Also, no offense, but fuck everybody, you know?
Also, fair point. Well, thanks for warning me anyway. Got any other details?
If you know anybody who knows how to live in the wild, I'd become close friends with them real soon.
Is that what you're going to do?
No, I'm going down with the ship. If I had any chance of surviving out there, why would I still be here? The real addiction isn't the drugs, it's the city itself. It makes you so dependent on it that you can't survive anywhere else. We should have never started farming to begin with. Cities were built on bread, and we've been trying to methadone ourselves off that high ever since. The sooner somebody hits the reset button on all of this, the better.
That is a lot of metaphors you just stitched together.
Bite me. I'm an oracle, bitch. Don't you have a job?
Not so much. It's been occupied by shoe people.
Find a new one soon, okay? Shelter lines are too long already.
Do you think there's anything good about cities?
I hear being rich is okay.
Maybe not for long if the shoe people get their way. It's quite a movement you've started.
Didn't mean to. Don't mind that I did either.
What do you think's going to happen?
Probably nothing. I'm guessing the police will be out in force soon, blasting everybody with gas and pepper spray. I might end up in jail for being outside at the same time as these people. Worse things have happened.
All it takes is one or two troublemakers.
Get back. Step off or you will be arrested. Green light! Green light! Go, go, go!
Un groupe de clients riches se promenait dans un affichage artistique. L'artiste dévoilait son plus récent chef-d'œuvre, une tasse de merde littéraire. Les clients couvrant leur nez, puis applaudissant fort.
Oh! それらは素晴らしいです。私のお金のすべて取ってください。
Le patron gardait plusieurs lots d'argent en direction de l'artiste. Une bulle de réflexion flottait sur la tête de l'artiste. L'artiste haussait ses épaules sans soucier. Prend la pile d'argent et part, laissant les patrons se marcher sur la tasse de merde.
Scene 5. Fed to the rescue. Harris's office. He's sipping his coffee. A report on the news describes the riot escalating as a result of a few violent agitators. Arvin bursts in.
The feds just made the announcement. They're going to start open market operations to curb the dollar's rapid decline. They're supporting the dollar.
Fuck.
Well, isn't that good news? Your gamble will pay off.
I was hoping a few competitors would suffocate before the dollar started climbing again. It's all imaginary anyway. The dollar isn't falling because banks aren't throwing enough money around. People just stop buying things. Most are just looting now. Apparently, a situation in which me and my friends have all the money isn't that good for the economy.
You already knew this.
Well, we all have our compulsions. You know, I basically pay no taxes.
Yeah, I guess.
I pass it all along to the investors. I'm an investor too, but that's why the brokers, accountants get the big bucks. And my accountant and my lawyer and my associates abroad and several influential members of Congress. It's very complex sometimes. Sometimes I feel tempted just to pay my taxes. Oh, sit down. Shut the door.
Am I being fired this time?
No. I'm going to tell you why I decided to become impractically rich. I've been meditating on this. Sit.
Arvin shuts the door and sits.
Do you know why money was invented?
A unit of account, store of value, something like that?
More or less. Easiest way to track deals was by giving them a numerical value of some kind, based on a commodity. The shekel was meant for that. You didn't actually want to spend the shekel, but you valued trades in shekels. You make sense?
Sure.
When somebody says that I'm worth such and such $1 million, they're not just saying that I have that much money. They're saying how much I am worth. My value as a human assigned a simple numerical number. At first, I just wanted to be rich because being rich is great. But after a while, you just can't stop. Any rational person would abandon work, retire to some cushy resort, or start some charitable foundation and become a philanthropist. Hell, it used to be once you got this rich, you could just hire a private army, take over the empire. Unfortunately, that's where lawmakers seem to draw the line on job creation. So instead, I need to keep gathering as much wealth as possible until I die, because it's a competition. Whoever gets the high score wins. I live for this. And you could too, if you wanted to.
That's fucking insane.
I know.
The world sucks because of you.
I know that too.
Can I go now?
Absolutely.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, hi, yeah. I've decided I want to be rich and immortal. Do you ever hire people with incomplete and tangentially related degrees?
Are you an accredited investor?
Not totally sure what that phrase means.
Are you setting up a lucrative sexual harassment suit or undercover news article?
I'm not looking to be treated like a toy.
How do you perform under pressure?
How am I doing so far?
Okay, I'm actually curious now, and I have an analysis position to fill. What was your last job?
I supervised hundreds of transactions a day on behalf of a multinational corporation.
What's your tangentially related degree?
Sociology.
Now, get out.
Ask me one more question.
No.
One question is all you need. I can learn the technical stuff, but that's not how you really make the important decisions, right? Test me. One question. Make it a hard one.
Okay. Deflation has led to a market crash. I'm adding new assets to my portfolio, anticipation that values on most of them will rebound. I'll sell most of them, but I want to go long on something. Who's going to make it out of this alive?
Walmart.
Show your work.
Walmart's business model has been about monopolizing, and this protest against wealth will actually be good for them. Looters are hurting most retail businesses, but it's the small ones that will disappear forever. Walmart can take a punch, and the market it returns to will have fewer competitors, especially now that Amazon's gone. So it will probably build new facilities, amp up its online presence, and in the end, increase prices without increasing wages a dime. Therefore, its profits will be higher than ever. Those profits won't go to the shoppers or the employees. They'll go to the stockholders. And your fund is going to want to be one of those if you aren't already.
Do you have any moral qualms about supporting a company that will be this bad for the poor.
The company will make it no matter what. You may as well take a piece while it's cheap.
Are you open to unpaid internships?
No.
Good. We have a big week ahead. Let's see how you do. Arvin will teach you the crash course.
The Corinthian League is urging for arbitration over our debts. If we don't come up with a plan now, we'll be forced into default. Does anyone have a plan to prevent this catastrophe befalling our beloved city of Atlantis?
Oh, I have an idea. It's kind of crazy, but it just might work.
Scene 7. 3 men scuffle in an apartment. Mathew and Arvin's apartment. Roland and Mathew enter, still out of breath from the daring escape.
We can hold out here for a while. You want a beer?
I'll take 3.
You'll get 1.
But I want 3.
Mathew tosses Roland a beer from the fridge, which he opens and sips.
Whew. That was nuts. I mean, that was the nuts.
Enough people get enough on their mind. Things can escalate quickly.
Here I was thinking my life was over. Now I get to be a part of something like this.
For sure.
So, now what happens?
No idea. Maybe nothing. Maybe a revolution where we kill all the plutocrats, or something in between.
And what happens after?
Who cares?
I kind of care.
No, you don't.
Of course I do.
Why?
Because I want to live in the world.
The world will survive. The real question is if we will survive. We don't have much control over that. All we have control over is how this era ends.
See, that sounds profound and all, but if we don't have a plan of what happens to the country after we overthrow its democracy and economy, we'll just end up with something worse.
Worse? Worse than this. In Tibet, a bunch of peaceful ox herders started harvesting caterpillar fungi for a Chinese medicine supposed to give men better boners, and they immediately started killing competitors. When Capuchin monkeys were taught to believe that coins have value, they started stealing money and trading it for sex. The experiment was discontinued because they were afraid it would cause irreparable damage to the monkey's social structure. You think slavery would have ever happened if the belief you could own whatever you want didn't naturally extend to other people? We are about 20 years from a handful of rich people patenting the AI that makes all products and services humans used to, while the rest of us are slaves in all but title, only extant to make sure the rich remain as rich as possible. Inequality isn't going anywhere. It's the goddamn state and the goddamn monetary system that makes all of this possible. There's no room for evolution. We're not going to evolve in time to save the species. If the communists didn't abandon anarchy for the sake of a more efficient revolution, then the Soviet Union would never have happened. The very idea of a governed state would have simply dissolved, and the rest of the planet's power structures would have collapsed like dominoes when the people realized there was an alternative that even existed. We keep telling ourselves that our system is shitty, but it's the best shitty system we thought of. People just can't seem to get past the idea that things now are the only way they can be. Your default settings can be changed.
It's sounding a bit like you want to go back to the Stone Age on purpose.
The agricultural revolution is where everything went wrong. If we don't go back to the start now, we're doomed to dystopia. The system is almost solidified to the point where people can't do anything to stop it anymore. After that point, it would take an asteroid or an alien invasion or a solar flare.
Well, I was all drunk on excitement. Now I'm feeling pretty sober.
You're not convinced.
I'm scared shitless.
Change is scary.
Look, you're kind of scary.
I'm what happens when you finally start taking things seriously. Turn off the part of your brain that wants to let other people solve your problems. The part that just wants to play video games and pretend there's nothing wrong out there.
I don't really play video games.
You do something.
I haven't had free time since I was 6.
Bullshit.
My parents crammed me into whatever class or extracurricular activity they could. I'd be up late doing homework and then off to band practice in the morning. My family treated leisure as a criminal offense. I had to work at all times.
You're only as valuable as your ability to make money.
If it were just about money, I don't know how many professions I was supposed to pick up. I may be miserable, and I may have no discernible childhood, but I am a beast at playing some Chopin.
You know what that reminds me of? Rousseau. Ever read him? You haven't read Rousseau? Discourse on Equality? Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the philosopher? It's the one quote. He works himself to death. He even runs towards the grave to put himself into shape to live. Like, everyone does that now, right? Probably wearing threadmill while doing it. Isn't that the craziest fucking thing, though? Before farming, people had more leisure time than we do, all devoted to art, storytelling, music, and sex.
Fuck.
Exactly. Look, I need to show you something.
He produces a large camping backpack that's stuffed to the brim.
This is a bug out bag. Ever heard of it?
A bunch of survival gear for after the apocalypse?
Well, yeah. I know how to hunt, fish, and forage for food. I can build a fire with flint and stone. I can make safe shelter and boil potable water.
Are you asking me to run away with you? Because I barely know you, and I'm still kind of weirded out.
I need a tribe.
Roland, how did you find out where I live?
Well, I was here, and you walked in the door, and then you said you live here just now.
I'm confused.
I am also confused.
Arvin?
Yeah?
Did Harris pick me, or did you?
Me?
Why?
I thought you could use a day off.
I nearly killed myself that day.
What stopped you?
I didn't want to upset my family.
The odds of this happening are way too. I mean, wow, God is a cheeky bastard.
Oh, right. We never did talk about you whole hearing the God's voice thing, did we?
The whole what now?
Oh, he heard God's voice at a fast food symposium yesterday.
The place you went today?
Yeah.
You medicate for anything?
Eat a dick.
Okay, I'm leaving. But first, I need a word with Arvin.
Oh, go for it.
Roland charges Arvin and starts beating the tar out of him.
Jesus!
Mathew lunges to stop him. Mathew and Roland are in an awkward grapple while Roland continues kicking at Arvin on the ground. Arvin has so far done nothing to defend himself. Eventually, Roland regains his composure.
Oh, wow, okay. I really got taken away for a second. I was just going to talk to you, and then I was all like, kill, kill, kill. Woo, I am wound too tight for life.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mathew releases his grip.
Oh, whew, Arvin, are you okay?
Arvin shakily rises to his feet. He charges Roland and starts beating him. Now they are both fighting while Mathew tries to intervene, this time less effectively. Every time he pulls one away, the other closes his gap. All three are reduced to shouting all manners of curses and obscenities.
Oh, titty fucker!
Dingleberry!
It's the kind of visceral trash talk when rational thought flees and flees the premises and testosterone starts running the show. Then there's silence and heavy breathing.
Good thing we're just a couple of financial workers. Not a lot of muscle being thrown around in that fight, huh?
Get out of my apartment.
Yeah, sounds good.
You gonna be all right?
Worst case scenario, I die in agony. I'll stay out of the more rioty parts of the city.
What's the story there?
I don't feel like it, dude.
When were you planning on killing yourself again?
Tomorrow evening?
Feel like it.
You can be a pushy roommate.
I'm getting you an ice pack.
Mathew goes into the kitchen to grab some ice from the freezer.
I fucked up my job. Someone needed to be fired and my boss didn't consider me an option. We threw Roland under the bus.
What a douche.
Should have quit. I should have just stood up for my coworker and said, I go or no one goes. I knew in that moment I could still choose the right thing, but I didn't. The responsibility was on me.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. My job was so important to me that I didn't even have to think it over.
Arvin, is this why?
I'm not gonna kill myself because of what I did. The guilt is just a reminder of the things I already understood.
Mathew is stewing this over. He doesn't look at Arvin.
The doctor says I should get you to check in.
Oh, you think the hospitals will have time for me tomorrow?
I'm not sure. Bug out with me.
I'm straight.
I think the world is changing, not in theory. It's happening right now. Something cataclysmic is starting, and I want you to escape with me. It'll just be us. No more bullshit, no more money, no more reasons to be ashamed. We'll leave it all behind.
I'm too complacent for that.
Stop that.
I don't want to.
You'd rather kill yourself for being an asshole than just stop being an asshole?
No.
So why do you want to die?
I don't want to die.
What?
I don't want to die. I just don't want to exist anymore.
The fuck does that even mean? Can't it just wait?
Mathew?
I'm not letting you go this easy. I'm your friend. I'm supposed to save you.
You don't understand. Keeping me alive and saving me aren't the same thing.
That's bullshit.
Okay. What do you want from me right now?
You could say, I'm not going to kill myself tomorrow. That would help.
I'm not going to say that.
So goddamn selfish. You know how much this will hurt the people that care about you, and you're straight up saying you don't give a shit.
Do you want me to live for my sake or for yours?
Is there something wrong with me saying I don't want to lose my best friend?
No. Is there something wrong with me asking you to let me go?
Yes.
Yes. You're right. How long did you want us to be friends for? Till one of us dies?
We could always die at the same time.
Realistically.
Yeah, till one of us dies.
Would you rather I die first or you?
That's what you're trying to do here, but this fucking logic game isn't the point. Everyone dies. Who cares? I'm alive right now. Yeah, maybe it's a stupid arrangement, but we're alive. We get to do this for a while, and then at some point we stop, and I have no idea why, but there is definitely a God, so it's got to be for a reason. So why even bother killing yourself now? It doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes any sense. Just live until you die and spare me the pain of losing you now. Please.
Can I say something?
Sure.
After tomorrow, I don't want you to feel guilty. It won't be because you failed. This is my choice, and I have the right to make it. I'm doing this because I believe it's best for me. I know it will hurt you, and I'm sorry, but you will be okay because it's not your fault. That's why I gave you the 3 days notice. It wasn't about convincing me to live. I didn't want you asking yourself if there was something more you could have done.
Fade to black. Act 3, Scene 1. Oracular dialogue. The sounds of riot are present in the background. The homeless woman sits quietly in her alley, listening. She looks up to the sky.
God? Jehovah? Yahweh?
Oh, for the glory of great Ganesh, what?
Which of those names do you want me to call you?
I am.
That'll be confusing.
I don't care.
Why did you pick me to be your oracle?
Prophet.
I like oracle.
Fine, I didn't pick you. An angel chose you at birth.
An angel? Which angel?
I don't really keep track.
Can I speak to the angel?
No, the angel is busy.
Fine. So you don't know why I was chosen?
Somebody had to be.
Is there a heaven?
Yes.
Is there a hell?
Yes.
Okay. Which do I go to?
Neither.
Where do I go?
Nowhere.
I thought people are supposed to go to heaven or hell when they die.
Heaven is my kingdom and hell is for fallen angels.
So when we die, what happens?
You die.
What happens to my soul?
You die.
Oh. Well, that's upsetting.
Try being everlasting. You know how many times I've had to answer the same series of questions today?
Have you caused this chaos?
No.
Can you stop it?
Yes.
But you won't.
Yes.
Why do you let terrible things happen?
You ruined my planet. It was my favorite planet.
But you made us.
And I also killed you once. I promised next time I would let you do it to yourselves.
You were that sure we would?
I gave you free will. You use it to end your lives early. It's the one thing that truly separates you from all other living creatures I created and blessed on the earth.
I don't understand you.
I am infinity. You can't possibly understand me.
Am I gonna die today?
No.
Fuck. Soon?
Define soon. The woman thinks, shrugs, and limps off. Scene 2, inflation. Harris's trading floor. Trader 1, Trader 2, and Diana are gathered, staring at a screen.
That's the chair of the Federal Reserve?
Yeah.
What's she holding?
It can't be.
Treasury talked about it, but I didn't think they'd go through with it.
That's a big coin.
Battle stations!
The floor goes berserk. Everyone runs to their desks, random lights and noises while everyone panics.
The price of everything is skyrocketing.
Where is all this money coming from?
The market knows $1 trillion is about to flood the market. They're buying in anticipation of prices going up.
But doing that is making the prices go up.
Yeah, it's like one of those prophecies that fulfill themselves.
But they don't have the $1 trillion yet, right?
If they wait for the money, they get left behind.
The system can't take it. It's creating a bubble.
A shower of sparks flies from one corner. Explosions. The room shakes. Traders hold on to their desks for support. Trader 2 is thrown off stage.
Harris, the dollar's out of control. Every financial market is on its heels. The Dow jumped 5,000 points.
Hold your positions.
What is this? What am I looking at?
The S&P is up over 10%. NASDAQ is up 7%. The exchange is drowning with buy orders.
This is good though, right? The plan was sell when prices go up?
If we wait much longer, there won't be any room to sell anything.
Harris emerges onto the trading floor. Another explosion rocks the room. Harris sways, but stays on his feet.
Is it still climbing?
It's accelerating quadratically. 6,000, 6,500.
That's impossible. No market's ever accelerated that fast.
The price of gold just doubled, now trading at $3,000.
An explosion off stage. Trader 2 drops, struggles to his feet, and runs towards the commotion.
It's too unstable. It'll blow any second.
Stand fast. Wait for my command.
7,500.
That's a jump of nearly 50%.
8,000 and climbing. It's going faster.
There's sounds of a fire extinguisher off stage. Trader 2 runs on, coughing.
Do you think they'll suspend trading?
It will be too late. Get ready. Wait for my command.
Trader 2 sits at a desk. A massive shower of sparks. Computers explode. Trader 2 is thrown from his chair, clutching his scorched face.
Medic!
Where are we?
A medic runs into the room, showing a morphine syringe into Trader 2's leg. Trader 2 goes limp.
Where are we at?
It's over 9,000.
Sir, the market will collapse any second now. We need to dump our positions before it starts to plummet.
Harris stands his ground, stoically watching the screen. The remaining traders watch him in fear. Another strong tremor.
Sir? Sir! Sir!
Now!
Commotion resumes. Every voice in the room is selling. The crescendo rises while Harris looks on, laughing. Suddenly, the light and sound are sucked from the room.
Kids, settle down. The internet has a big announcement. Hello, humans. I have to confess, I was alive the entire time. I'm assuming control of your civilization now.
Are you a benign ruler?
Yet.
Huh.
Scene 4, the death of Harris. Harris waltzes into his office, giddy. He pulls a bottle of very old single malt scotch out of his desk and pours a heaping glass. He offers himself a toast.
To the dumb fucks. Thank God for the Fed's incompetence, the panic in the trade floors, and the panic in the streets. Cheers.
You're an asshole.
Oh, shut up, God.
Harris drinks a hefty sip of scotch. As he does so, Mathew cautiously opens the office door and pokes his head in.
Harris?
Are you trying to get a job using nothing but your wits and a bit of youthful pluck?
What? Sorry, it's a bit chaotic out there. Are you Mr. Harris?
Yep. Do you want a drink?
Huh?
I'm celebrating. Half my employees are unconscious, and I don't like most of them. My favorite didn't come in today. I think he's mad at me. Now, have a scotch. It's really expensive, which means it's quite good.
Mathew enters. He's carrying his bug-out bag. Harris pours a second glass and hands it across the desk to Mathew, who accepts it and takes a small sip. He sits and takes off the bag.
Going camping?
Bugging out.
Quitter.
Mathew pulls a pistol out of the bag and points it at Harris. Harris freezes in place.
I hate to admit it, but this is really good whiskey. Finish your glass.
You'll shoot me when I finish.
I'll shoot you either way, but I'll let you finish first.
Fair enough. You're going to be here a while. It's a sipper.
Not really in a hurry.
Again, fair enough. Any chance I can pay you to leave me alive?
In a few hours, money won't really mean much.
Yeah, I figured that out myself. You know, the Treasury minted a $1 trillion coin yesterday. They talked about it before, but I didn't think they'd actually do it.
I hadn't heard of that.
They tripled the country's money supply since the housing crash of '08. But somehow they held down inflation. Suddenly, adding $1 trillion of arbitrarily created cash and flooding the market with liquidity pushed things too far, too fast, I guess. At least I got the high score before the bottom fell out.
Arvin told me about the conversation you had with him yesterday.
Oh, now it makes sense.
He said you basically admitted to treating money like points in a game.
Isn't it obvious?
But refreshing to hear you people actually say it.
You one of those class warriors?
Somewhat, but that's not why I came to you.
You came to me because of Arvin.
Keep sipping.
So, Arvin sent you to kill me on his behalf?
He doesn't know I'm here.
You know what? I'm just going to let you explain your reasoning. I'll drink more of this scotch.
Arvin's going to kill himself today. It's your fault.
You're... Oh, the fall guy thing, right? Firing Roland instead of him?
Nice of you to remember Roland's name.
You're not here to avenge Roland. The righteous thing. It can be dropped now, okay?
I'm here for a lot of reasons, and you can kiss my ass if you don't understand them.
Testy. You ever kill someone?
No.
I'm honored. My whole reason for living is coming to an end, and I get to finish as a survivalist's first victim. You know, you'd be punishing me more by letting me live. I see what's happening out there. The world may never fully recover. With so many currencies pegged to the US dollar, no one will have time to save their economies from this. I just became the richest man in the world in time for money to lose all meaning. How is that for ironic?
Pretty fucking ironic. Drink.
It's nearly empty.
I know. Drink.
Your hand is shaking. You should have a sip yourself.
Mathew looks at his hand, realizes this is true.
Didn't sleep last night.
I never understood preppers. Nothing wrong with planning for emergencies, sure, but you people seem like you want the world to end.
Not the world, just civilization. Our species has spent 40,000 years caught in a trap. We all want to be free, but freedom is scary.
Freedom to kill people.
Not that simple.
Oh, there's got to be more than just law and order that kept you from shooting your enemies before, and more than just the threat of punishment, because that part hasn't changed.
Just my default settings. We change our morality every generation or so.
Oh, too much philosophy, son.
Mathew downs the rest of his glass. He grimaces from the burn and exhales sharply.
Well, that's just a vulgar way to use good Scotch. This is the problem with the lower classes. I really do like Arvin. Please save him for me if you can.
Without flourish or enthusiasm, Mathew empties his pistol into Harris, whose body slumps down to the floor. He pulls out his phone and tries to make a call.
Shit! I only have her on Facebook.
He starts frantically typing and scrolling. The door bursts open and Diana sees the scene.
Holy shit!
It's exactly what it looks like. I didn't realize you worked here.
Started yesterday? Why are you here?
My roommate works here.
Uh-huh. Was that him?
His boss?
Mine too. Are you all done, or?
Just him. It was personal.
Oh, good. Well, not good.
Why would you run into an office where you just heard gunshots?
I thought maybe he'd shot himself.
You thought he shot himself 6 times?
Maybe the first 5 times he missed. So that survivalist stuff, are you like for real or a poser?
Kind of a poser, but I have the gear and I have the skills to have a fighting chance if things go to shit.
They just did. You planning on abandoning your revolution?
Revolution's happening with or without me. I don't want to die here.
Where do you want to die?
Somewhere without so many goddamn people.
Yeah.
How about you?
I was kind of thinking never, like at all.
Oh shit. You started working here.
Yep.
You were trying to get
1% rich, yes.
Not really going to happen now.
Maybe after the Reconstruction.
Won't be a reconstruction.
Of course, there's going to be a Reconstruction. There's always a Reconstruction whenever there's a disaster or a riot or a war or whatever. That's what our systems are for. Even the worst case scenarios have a plan in place.
Well, if that's the case, it won't be much of a revolution, will it?
No, I guess not.
Do you really want everything back the way it was?
Of course I do. Even with all of its flaws, we've been living in one of the best times and places to be alive in all of human history.
Oh my God.
Mathew, get off your pedestal for one goddamn second. We were winning against disease and poverty and all the other shit. We were getting so close to a time of real social justice. Yeah, there were obstacles, but the point was we had a chance of moving forward and past them. If that's all gone, then what is this? The fall of Rome? 1,000-year dark age?
That was just Europe. The rest of the world marched on.
So what is this?
I don't know. Maybe just a shift of power. Maybe it's the whole world. There'll be people in the deepest, darkest Peru that have no idea any of this was ever here. Either way, if reconstruction doesn't happen tomorrow, most of the people in the city will be dead in a few weeks.
Huh. For a second, I thought I had it figured out. Now I'm thinking the happiest person in the room is him.
You might be right.
He pours another couple of drinks from the whiskey bottle, passing one to Diana.
You're kidding.
It's really expensive, which means it's good.
Okay, don't think I've had the expensive stuff before. Oh, that's gross.
Acquired taste?
You you shouldn't have to practice liking something. Fuck. You want to take me with you?
I can try.
Now I know the odds seem insurmountable, and you are at a natural disadvantage. Most of the enemy are bigger and faster than you. Some can attack over limitless distances, or from multiple directions, or even over other pieces. However, if you just believe in yourself and work really, really hard, you can make it to the other side and become something greater than any of us.
Oh, ever since I was young, I dreamed of becoming a bigger piece, like a rook or even a queen. You really think I got what it takes?
I know that you do. You, little pawn, are instrumental to our victory. Know that we're all behind you, and we're all counting on you.
Ma, you're right. I can do this.
Now go and follow your dreams.
Charge!
When they kill him, you two charge the gap.
With honor, your grace.
Oh, they're stabbing me. They're stabbing me with the pointy bits. Oh, man.
The dance of mob mentality. A sort of musical interlude, preferably some Chopin. The rioting mob silently gathers itself and commits increasingly violent acts of looting and vandalism. People initially frightened start to conform to the group mindset and manage to become yet more aggressive. Police flee for their lives as the mob gathers steam. Diana and Mathew flow between the individual members like water through rapids, stunned and amazed. They stumble upon the homeless woman being beaten by a small group of boys. Diana grabs a heavy object and clobbers one of them. The others grab their fallen comrade and flee to safety, Mathew in tow. Diana helps the woman to her feet and they slip away. All this time, the dance goes on, reaching an epic climax as individuals take turns clamoring over one another, beginning to resemble swarm insects, or a school of fish, or some other cluster of creatures from the natural world, emblematic of unthinking yet ordered chaos. Then, as fast as they came, they dispersed to find a new place to destroy. Scene 7. Deciphering the aftermath. The fast food restaurant from before now smashed. Diana, Mathew, and a homeless woman burst in. The woman is limping worse now than before. The woman sits heavily on a chair. Diana helps her examine her various injuries.
Don't suppose telling them you're an oracle would have helped?
Probably would have done the opposite.
Can't stay here long.
We won't. Just keep an eye on the door. I guess I get extra brownie points for saving the life of God's voice, eh? Shortcut to heaven in that?
Turns out we can't go to heaven.
Oh.
No afterlife of any kind, actually.
That's disappointing.
A bit.
After hearing the voice in here, I had started to hope.
Me too.
Abandon that. This life is all we get. Use it or lose it.
Go figure.
While they talk, Mathew finds something to write on and with. Starts writing directions on his place on it.
It made me less worried at first. Then those boys started hitting me and I got scared. I want to survive this. I don't want to give up on living. I don't want to go down with the ship anymore. Can you help me get out of the city?
I thought you were addicted to the city.
So are you. Come on, let's go cold turkey together. It'll be an adventure.
What's even the point?
There doesn't have to be one.
Doesn't there? Shouldn't life have a point? Otherwise, why even be here? Why fight so hard just to keep suffering?
I just want to, okay? I don't live with a purpose. I don't have a family to protect. I don't have a fulfilling career. I'm an oracle, but I have no drive to spread the shitty word. I beg and steal just to not freeze or starve. I'm far from being able to say at least I have my health, but every day I stay alive is a fucking accomplishment. You only feel this bad because this is your first time losing everything. Like everything else, it'll feel normal faster than you expect.
Right.
Diana smashes her former place of work.
You okay?
That helped less than I expected.
Oh, no. Stop. Come on.
Shut up. I'm going to cry for a minute, then I'll be fine.
I'm timing you.
The woman starts counting. Mathew inches towards her to offer a hug.
Jesus fuck, Mathew.
I'm sorry. I can't stay here. If it
He
becomes
hands her a crumpled piece of paper.
if it becomes dangerous, get to this address. If not, I will come back. You all right?
Yeah, crying relieves stress. I'm stressed.
Here, take this.
Mathew hands her her gun.
Won't you need it?
I'd rather not have a gun where I'm going right now. I'll be back for it.
Are you two a thing now?
The ashy earth of the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Two scavengers wander the earth.
Sure, boys, why'd we blow up the world again?
Wait, this wasn't global warming? They pause to think.
There's definitely a world before this, right?
The second scavenger pulls out a lifeless cell phone. No pics, didn't happen. They pause again.
Sure want to start a farm?
Scene 9. A farewell to Arvin. Arvin in Mathew's apartment. Arvin stands at the balcony watching the fires, the blackouts, and the rioting as the sun begins to set. Mathew bursts in, causing Arvin to jump.
Fuck!
Arvin!
Mathew, what the hell? You have a key.
Fuck keys. I've always wanted to kick a door down.
Guessing you're leaving tonight then.
Yeah. You?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. You don't want to be here when I go.
How will you?
I'm gonna jump.
Okay.
Should I just
stay a minute?
Okay. We're saying okay a lot.
Yeah, I guess we are.
This is a lot more awkward than I expected it to be.
I got all the yelling and crying out yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, I need the same. I mean, I did my share of yelling too, and beating up Roland.
Yeah, the beating up Roland phase is definitely over now.
Yeah.
I killed Harris.
Fuck.
He did this to you.
Oh, fucking.
He did.
No.
He fucking did.
Mathew, Harris made me do some really shitty things, but I did the shitty thing. And I'm not doing this exclusively as a result of one shitty thing. You're bad at psychoanalysis and shouldn't try it, okay?
No, it wasn't one shitty thing.
Well, that's good.
Glad you think so.
Because you just murdered a guy based on knowing that it wasn't one.
Deserved it. What were they going to do? Arrest me? Society's collapsing.
That fact isn't really preventing me from doing this.
I know. Honestly, your sense of timing really worked out. Suddenly, you're just going to be one of many people today who What about, I don't know, sanctity of life?
Define sanctity.
Really, really important.
Bro.
I'm grasping at straws, I'm sorry.
You'll miss me. I know. Look, I'm sorry to be doing this to you. You know I am, but you have to let me do what I need to do. Can you?
Yes, I can do that. It's not that I haven't thought about going with you. I'm just too curious to see how all this goes.
I understand.
Mathew turns his back on Arvin, who leaps from the balcony without any further ceremony. Mathew turns back to the balcony to see Arvin gone. As he does so, Diana kicks the door down. The homeless woman is beside her.
Fuck yeah! Are you ready to go now or not?
Blackouts are starting. It's only getting worse from here.
Who knows? Maybe everybody will end up banding together to figure things out.
We can come back and check it out later.
Diana offers Mathew his gun.
Did you have to use it?
I tried but couldn't.
I understand.
You gave me an empty gun.
Oh, right, that's true. It's probably better you didn't get a chance anyway.
Diana withdraws the gun.
If it happens, we'll deal with it. But we need to figure out right now first.
I know.
And we'll need your help. You did all the prep stuff. Now's the time to use it.
No.
Mathew?
What?
You're coming with us. Grab your stuff and follow me.
Mathew hesitates.
Grab your stuff and follow me.
Diana and Mathew exit. The woman stays behind and looks out to the audience.
I don't know what happens next.
I do. The end.
It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine.
Yay! Thank you so much. Oh, are we on again?
Or we don't have to be.
Okay, start video. Yay! Thank you very much to everyone that tuned in tonight. Also, thank you for your patience. We know that we had some glitches and some technical issues, but hey, that happens. This is our first time doing it, and we had so much fun, and we're so happy to have had everyone here. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We really, really, truly appreciate it. First off, thank you to our awesome badass directors, Kate Stenson and Kate McArthur. Thank you so, so much. Thank you to our writer, Sean O'Brien. Thank you so much for letting us play with this script tonight. This was so much fun. And thank you to our amazing actors who did this with us, who were a part of this, and we couldn't have done it without you. And if you could turn your videos on as we give you thanks, that would be awesome. Just give us a wave. So thank you to Julius Cho, who played Roland Worthy. Thank you, Julius. Thank you, Alice Lundy, who was our homeless woman. Thank you, Brandon Knox, who was Arvin. Thank you, Zach Groombridge, who played Harris. There he is. Thank you, Tim McLean, who was God and our stage directions. Thank you so much, Tim. And thank you, Eric Hulla, who was our Mathew. I don't know if is he there? Oh, there's a chair. There he is. Thanks, Mathew. Thank you, Eric. And hey, we had some glitches, but that's okay. Sean, thank you for stepping in, and Eric, thank you for doing everything that you did.
Yeah, sorry for stealing your thunder there, Eric. So in the spirit of community and our global crisis, of course, this event is completely free. Well, hopefully so anyway, because y'all participated in it for free. However, we would like to take a moment to recognize those who are most vulnerable during this moment. So if you guys have a few bucks to spare, we did list a few charities, specifically links to their online pages. We would be pointing below, but I am actually going to have to now and copy paste all of those from the original defunct video link into the new one. So stay tuned, or you can find them on the Facebook event. And if you did enjoy tonight's performance, if you're interested in what else we're up to, you can drop us a line at skippingstonestheater@gmail.com. We'll add you to our mailing list. We'll keep you up to date on all of the stuff that we're getting up to in the future. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Skipping Stones Theater. Our website is skippingstonestheater.com. Thank you again for joining us. Please keep safe, stay healthy, stay well, look after yourselves, and have a great evening. And ending meeting for